start off with 110 grams of green beans and input them into the popcorn roaster, which we used. This used a total of 0.132 kilowatt hours. During the roast, we lost 18.4 grams to gases and water evaporation. 91.6 grams of roasted beans were then inputted into the grinder, which resulted in 91.6 grams of coffee grounds.
After grinding the beans, we could finally brew. Since we used the Clever coffee dripper, the only energy we used went towards heating up 1,320 grams of water. We used a total of 0.12 kilowatt hours of energy to heat up the water. We then used the Clever dripper 6 times, averaging 220 grams of water and 15.2 grams of coffee grounds per each brew. This resulted in 997 grams of coffee, meaning 323 grams of mass remained in the spent grounds or evaporated.
Our coffee was ranked 3rd overall by the class. When we blindly tasted it, we picked up earthly aromas with a hint of chocolate. Compared to other brews, ours tasted brighter and had a fuller body. Our brew had a fairly pleasant aftertaste with notes of wheat. In our opinion, the flavors were underdeveloped, creating more of a grassy flavor rather than baked pastries, which we had gotten in our design trials. This is why we gave the coffee a lower score, but the body and brightness allowed the brew to be scored higher than what we had tasted previously.
For our TDS and percent extraction of the competition brew, we had very similar numbers to most of our design trials, a 0.7% TDS and 7.62% extraction. We wanted to raise these numbers from the design trials by at least a little bit, but failed to do so in the actual competition brew. In hindsight, we could have used less water since we overestimated the absorption ratio and evaporation that would occur. This, in turn, would have led to a higher TDS and percent extraction.
For conserving energy, our logic was to use the popcorn roaster instead of the Nesco roaster, and the Clever dripper instead of the Mr. Coffee machine. If we were to participate in another contest, we would increase our brew ratio to bring out the sweet, chocolatey flavors we tasted in our design trials. We would also roast the beans for less time to more of a light medium roast to help alleviate the strong acidity in our brew.